This is Power BI and More with Business Solutions MVPs Scott Sewell and Joel Lindstrom. We're sponsored by Kingsway Soft, and Kingsway Soft is our favorite data transformation and integration tool. Kingsway Soft's a leading provider of Microsoft Dynamics integration software, including Dynamics 365, CRM, AX, NAV, GP, SL, as well as many other applications. So whether you need one solution or you need several, Kingsway Soft works easily within the SSIS platform to make your integration process as quick and easy as possible. Thanks, Kingsway Soft, for your support of Power BI and More. Scott, it feels about 2 months since we've talked about licensing.
It's always everybody's favorite topic,
It's highlight of the month for me, actually. So, what is the deal with Power BI Premium?
Yeah,
what is it?
Sounds exciting, doesn't it? Premium? It can't be a bad thing, can it?
Is that Power BI for insurance policies?
It's 2 scoops. You get 2 scoops instead of 1. It's premium. Power BI Premium is, I think it's probably worth saying, do I need to care about this or not? And I would say for a lot of, probably the bulk of users of Power BI, let's talk about what it is and what it's not, just so you can set your mind at ease to say, you know what, I'm glad that option's out there, but it's not something I need right now. Okay? But if you're dealing with an enterprise situation where you've got hundreds or thousands of users, absolutely Power BI Premium is a cool option to now have. So having said that, let's talk about what it is and what it isn't. First off, you have the free license of Power BI, which now you can log in and create a dashboard and view it yourself, and you kind of live in your own little happy space there. That's fine. Then you can add Power BI. There's a license for Power BI Pro, which is a paid license, and it's, at retail it's about $10 US a month. Depending on your enterprise license, it may be cheaper for you, but roughly $120 a year for a user. If you have a Power BI Pro license, you can create that dashboard and you can share that dashboard with other Pro users. You can't share it with a free user anymore, but you can share it with other Pro users. Oh, that's great. You got all the features. You got a complete feature set with that Pro license. Well, what about Premium? Does that give me more features for my Pro user? Well, it's probably the best way to consider it is it's not a license for the user in themselves as much as it is a license for where do you push your dashboard? Where do you stick that dashboard? Kind of a deployment or a capacity for that dashboard. What does that mean, right? Okay, Power BI Pro, when you publish a dashboard into the cloud, it's going up into the big cloud, the big Microsoft Azure cloud that's up there, and it's going to sit on some server, and you might be sitting next to some friendly. It's like you're moving into a neighborhood. You don't really know who your neighbors are yet, and some of them might play loud music at night, right? Well,
right.
In the early days when we first started moving in, you might be the only one on your server, and everything runs fast. It's no latency. It's terrific. But then you move in, and suddenly your next door neighbor has 3 teenage kids, right? And they have a garage band, right? So it starts getting noisy. Well, what Power BI Premium does is says, okay, and by the way, when you publish like that to the cloud, I'm not going to say that the performance just tanks, but sometimes you might have a little more latency if your next door neighbor is running a leaf blower at 3 a.m. So what Power BI Premium does is says, I'm going to push instead of pushing it into the shared area, Microsoft has set up a separate server in Azure that just has my stuff on it. The nice big server sitting there, and nobody else is on it. I'm going to publish my stuff to it, and again, I'm not going to get woken up by a leaf blower in the morning.
So you're saying it's kind of like the private cloud option for Power BI? Very
much the private cloud option. It's a sort of a dedicated space for me. I can have, it's going to be like this 25 gig server with 8 cores of processor, and additionally, because I'm in my own little walled garden there, I can set up my refresh rate to run 24, I think up to 40. I think at the basic level, it's 30 times 48 times a day. It can refresh that data. So as opposed to the shared area where they kind of throttle that to keep your noisy neighbors from creating wars between each other, I think you can only do it 4 times a day, something like that. It's kind of limited. But when you move over to your private area, the premium area, you can refresh your data all day long, which is nice.
Right.
Another feature of it is that once I publish it into that shared area, I can have my free users can start connecting to it and consume it without paying for any. They don't have to buy a pro license in order to view a dashboard. So outside the premium area, everybody who's seeing or creating or seeing those dashboards has to have a pro license. Inside the shared area, inside this premium area, only the people who are creating the dashboards need to have a pro license. Everybody else gets free access to view it.
So someone with a professional license could view something someone with a premium license has created?
Well, think about it. So someone with a pro license can create the dashboards in the premium area, and someone with a free license can view the dashboards in the premium area.
Ah, okay.
So outside that premium stuff, if we're just talking about regular size, if you create a dashboard and you want somebody else to see it, both you and that other person have to have a pro license. Yeah.
So is there a security advantage to premium versus professional? Meaning, in thinking of other hybrid or private cloud options such as Exchange and Dynamics, where people, government contractors and government agencies and people like that will go with the private cloud option because they have concerns about public cloud and shared service security. Is that an aspect here too?
I'm probably not going to call it. I'm not going to call that out as an advantage, primarily because even in the shared area, there are ridiculous levels of control protecting a user from accessing data that's outside of their permission, outside their licensing. I mean, they've got layers and layers and layers of crazy security on top of it, so that it's really not a difference in security between the two as much as it is, I'm going to say, performance between the two.
Okay, and are there any functionality differences? Like, is the latest and greatest available for premium since it's more of a private cloud option?
I'm going to say it's actually, the functionality is going to be the same with between the two. It's just that you can choose to publish things into your premium capacity and use it. Now, there's one functionality piece that you get if you are a licensed for premium user. You also have the option of downloading a copy of Power BI Server and running it on your own box in your own network. That option does not exist unless you're a Power BI Premium subscriber. So yeah.
So you might license Premium just to get the on-premise version and then just use the on-premise version.
In fact, I actually have a customer right now that is doing exactly that. They're licensing Premium in order to purchase have an on-premise server.
Now, how does the on-premise work with things like the Power BI mobile app? Do you have, if you expose it externally, people can just connect to it, or are there any gotchas there?
Yeah, so it's Power BI mobile that will connect to an on-premise server, and the same. Everything's true about, just like with CRM connecting to your internal server. You have to make sure that you have the authentication chain is all set up. But yeah, it absolutely will connect and consume that. The mobile app will actually also consume Power BI elements that have been published to SSRS. But so there's a lot of cool stuff there that's available to us. I think the big takeaway is that you don't have to worry about Power BI Premium if you're in a fairly small shop. You're talking about a couple hundred users. At that level, it's probably cheaper just to buy a Power BI Pro license for everybody who needs to consume Power BI data. It's when you move up to the enterprise scale, that's when it turns into something that you're going to need access to a server. By the way, as far as pricing goes, it's not free, right? It can be kind of pricey, but I will say that if you go to PowerBI.com and you go or PowerBI.Microsoft.com, there is a calculator, and it lets you put in like the number of users you want to have access to it, to Power BI Premium, and it will help you identify which level of application you might want to use, because there's different levels of Power BI Premium. There's like P1, P2, P3, and there's also a new node that I just noticed today. I didn't know about it before today, which is called EM3, which is actually a smaller node, and I don't know anything about it except it's smaller. So it's roughly talking about a few hundred users. So I'll take a look. I'll have to learn more about that. Anyways, yeah. So it's cool. But the calculator shows you the different sizes of nodes that might be available, and helps you set up and decide how many users you want to how many users you might need, and what scale you might use, but depending on how many people are publishing and then how many people are consuming. Yep.
Okay. And is that can that be changed quickly? Can you scale up easily?
You can. That's a great thing about it. Now, I think maybe the P1 nodes, P1 to P2, P3s, since you're effectively buying a couple of servers, and it's not one box. You're buying the access to geo redundant and load balanced servers, but effectively you're buying a node. Those you buy in, I think, a 1-year contract, but I'm not gonna speak for Microsoft licensing in that case. But the smallest one, the one that I just noticed today, definitely has a month-to-month option on it. So cool.
So I find naming of versions humorous sometimes, because you throw out premium versus professional. Would you rather be premium, or would you rather be a professional?
Well, and in some cases you want
premium. I think are beef.
Right? Premium ice cream. I don't know. Yeah. So in this case, if you're going to be premium, if you're going to be writing dashboards for an enterprise, you'll need to be both pro and have a premium license for your organization. So both and.
Right.
So
all right.
Well, cool.
Well, thank you, Scott. I hope you have a premium day. This has been the Power BI and More podcast with Business Solution MVPs Scott Sewell and Joel Lindstrom. This podcast is a production of Dynamic Podcasts, LLC. Follow Scott Sewell on Twitter @Scott Sewell. Subscribe to the CRM Audio network of podcasts on Apple Podcasts, Google Play Music, SoundCloud, Stitcher, TuneIn, or any place else that fine podcasts are available. You can email us at voice@crm.audio. Thanks again to our sponsors, Kingsway Soft and Alexa CRM.